Back to the another episode of Daily News Quiz Analysis for IAS Prelims 2025. It is 15th March today, and in this video we are going to solve some important questions which could be very much relevant for your preparation. But before we'll start our discussion, I would like to give the brief introduction about this initiative so that if you are new to our channel, you will get more connected with us. Basically in this video we are going to discuss three types of questions, if I will be more precise here, and these questions would be taken from three different sources. Depending upon it, the first set of questions which we are going to solve here, which we are going to discuss here, would be taken from the current affairs, daily current affairs. Here, you know what we are going to do? We will take up the most important articles from the newspapers. We'll break them down into the simplest language possible, and we'll try to derive the possible prelims questions from those particular articles, so that it will give the idea which part of the newspaper is important for you, what should be your approach when you are reading those news articles, and how you can expect a possible prelims question from those particular topics. And most of our discussion would revolve around those questions only. After solving questions with respect to current affairs, we will shift our approach to the another part. Here we will discuss questions from the static portion. As you know, if you would have followed me, currently we are discussing Indian polity, and in Indian polity we are discussing the Parliament of India, and in Parliament of India we are discussing the Raj Sabha. Today we are going to discuss few related concepts to Raj Sabha, and we'll try to derive the possible prelims questions which can be formed from those particular topics or concepts, and it will give the idea how exactly a question can be asked in the exam with respect to those topics. So with this, it will help you prepare well for the exam. After solving questions with respect to current affairs and the static part, we will shift our approach to the last part of our discussion. Here we will solve questions from the previous year question book. To me, this is the most important part, because in here we will learn how UPSC frames how UPSC uses the vocabulary for framing your papers. What is the vocabulary they use for framing your papers, for framing your questions? What are the different trends that try to follow for framing your papers? And also we'll try to learn what can be the different methods which we can implement in the exam if we don't have the proper knowledge of the question and solve the question correctly. What can be the different elimination methods? We will try to learn that, and also at the same time we will try to learn how we can implement this knowledge which we get from this initiative, from this video, in the upcoming exam. So this is in a nutshell what we are going to do in this video. Now before we will start our discussion, I would like to request you guys, please do subscribe the channel. When you subscribe us, it motivates us to work more hard on these topics and provide you the best information possible. It is kind of an acknowledgement from your side, so please do subscribe. Please do share it with your friends so that they may also get benefited from this initiative, and please do write in the comments what else should we bring for you guys. Now without any delay, let's have a look at the first question which we had brought today. Here the question is with respect to the summit level diplomacy. To be more clear here, I would like to tell you one thing, guys. There were many more articles in the newspaper which could have been discussed, which we would have brought today, which we would have discussed. But the problem with them was we had already discussed them. For example, the issue of the Balochistan. Yesterday we discussed with respect to that. What is the issue? How Pakistan is blaming India. That is the new development regarding to that news, that Pakistan blamed the insurgency in Balochistan. It is because of India. So that is that we had understood how Pakistan is often blaming, and India will never accept those claims from the Pakistan, and Pakistan is not providing any proof to those claims. So that is very much understood part, and we discussed in yesterday's class how Balochistan spreads over three nations: Pakistan, India, and Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Iran. We discussed that, and we discussed what are the reasons of insurgency there. So today I did not felt need to bring that topic back today, and there was no need to discuss that again, as it would count as a waste of time to me if we will discuss same articles every day. So that's why we neglected that topic today. So with this, we had brought the first question here. The question is with respect to with respect to the summit level diplomacy, as there was discussion that we would discuss after solving the question. First, let us solve the question here. The question says, consider the following statements regarding summit level diplomacy. First statement, summit level diplomacy primarily serves as a platform for detailed negotiations. Please look at the every word carefully. Let's see what does the first statement say. It says summit level diplomacy primarily serves as a platform for detailed negotiations and the finalization of the complex international agreements. It does not say, in at the summit level where the top leaders meet, even though it works for the broader perspectives, broader agendas are given under this, but there is no detailed negotiations are happening there, or neither the finalization of complex international agreements are done there. So that are those finalization of complex international agreements, they are done at the lower levels, not at the summit level. So first statement is incorrect. It has a broader vision, not that it does not include that detailed negotiations would happen there, or finalization of complex international agreements would happen there. So first statement is incorrect. Second, by marking the first statement incorrect, we can eliminate option A here, and we can eliminate option D here. Now we are left with option B and option C. So if looking at the, I will tell you a trick here. Looking at the options here, what would be best for you to look, what statement would be best for you to look in? For me, the best, if you are left with at the fourth option, fourth statement, then we can automatically come to the answer. So let's have a look at the fourth statement first. It says the rise of multilateral summitry has reduced the importance of bilateral summit level diplomacy. It is not something carved on stone that rise of multilateral summitry has reduced the importance of bilateral summit. Right now, at the present time, countries prefer to deal with the bilateral relations. So this statement, fourth statement, is incorrect here. So fourth statement becomes incorrect, and with this we came to our answer, which is option B only. But let's have a look at the other statements too, so that we will get the important knowledge for what we brought this question here. Now looking at the second statement, all this was to help you get the idea how you should solve the question in the exam. The presence of mind you should have in the exam. That was the reason I solved the first statement and the fourth statement first. Now let's have a look at the second statement. Let's see what does it say. The second statement says the effectiveness of summit level diplomacy is solely dependent on the formal agreement reached during the summits. No, it is not solely dependent on it. It is extreme statement. So second statement is also incorrect. Now third statement, it says summit level diplomacy can play a crucial role in building personal rapport and fostering trust between world leaders. 100% correct. Nothing wrong with the statement, nothing wrong in assuming it. So third statement is correct. So with respect to this question, the correct option would be option B. Now with this, I hope you had understood the question. Now why we are discussing this question, because there was discussion in the newspaper today whether summit level diplomacy has significance in the present world, how it is important in the present world, how it plays the role. With respect to that, it can be very good summit level diplomacy, and it has been very much positive in achieving various peace deals. For example, the author is giving here the example of the Camp David Accord, which established peace between the Israel and Egypt by the mediation of the US. So summit level diplomacy can be at sometimes very much beneficial, and sometimes it can be very much like a peer event where leaders would come and take the pictures and nothing really will happen. And at the same time, in some events it can be very much worse. It can derail the relation between the countries, as we had seen recently, the example of Ukraine president and the Donald Trump, how that happened. So this summit level diplomacy, it has done very good, it is doing very good, it has achieved great, but it can get worse if leaders are not well prepared. So with respect to this article, actually what does the author here wants to say, that he actually praises the Narendra Modi when he visited US, and how well prepared he was, and how well he did in that event. So that is the whole nutshell of this article. So with this, I hope you had understood the question as well as the context of the question, and also the presence of mind which you should have in solving the questions. questions. I will tell you one thing, guys. Please remember that in exam you just need to hit 50 questions correctly to crack the prelims. And for those 50 questions, you should have this presence of mind. You should have this presence of mind. You should have the clarity of the concepts. Most of the times there would be questions which you think you would have done that correctly, but you would have not looked at the statements correctly. So please have that idea in you. Please develop that habit in you. Read the statements correctly. Read it word by word. Solve, as target only 60 to 70 questions, but be very much precise in that. It will be much easier for you to clear the exam. So with this, let's move to the another slide and see what question we had brought there. Here, the question is basically about the linguistic minorities in India. What are the rights related to linguistic minorities in India? Why we are discussing this news? Because there was a lost Gondi medium school, but unfortunately the Maharashtra government had shut it. The reason was given that it was not registered with RTE Act of 2009, that the last Gondi medium school was shut. With respect to linguistic minorities, they enjoy special rights. For example, Article 29, it gives this Article 29 of Indian Constitution grants all sections of the citizens residing in any part of India the right to conserve their distinct language, script, or culture. So this right is inherited to these linguistic minorities through the constitution. And also we have Article 350A, sorry, Article 350A, which says that the children of those linguistic minorities should be given the right, they should enjoy this right, that they should get the primary education, they should get this education in their mother tongue. And by closing this Gondi language school, this right had been restricted to the children of the Gondis community. So that's why the author here criticizes the move from the Maharashtra government. So here we need to know what are the different articles which protect the linguistic minorities and cultural minorities, that we will understand through this question. Let's solve the question here and get more idea about it. That is why we brought this question basically here. I hope you had understood the context. Now let's solve the question here. The question says, consider the following statements regarding the constitutional safeguards for linguistic minorities in India. First statement, Article 29 of the Indian Constitution grants all sections of the citizens residing in any part of India the right to conserve their distinct language, script, or culture. 100% correct. Correct. Second statement, Article 30 of Indian Constitution extends the right to establish and administer educational institutions to all minority groups, including linguistic minorities. 100% correct. Third statement, the 7th Constitutional Amendment Act of 1956 introduced Article 350B, which mandates the appointment of a special officer for linguistic minorities. 100% correct. Fourth statement, the National Commission for Linguistic Minorities, here please know that National Commission for Linguistic Minorities is a constitutional body responsible for monitoring the implementation of safeguards providing to linguistic minorities. No, it is not a constitutional body but statutory body. So please do remember that. A question like it can confuse you in the exam. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are statement 1, statement 2, and statement 3 only. So with this, I hope you had understood the question as well as the context of the question. Now let's move to the another slide and see what question we had brought there. Here the question is with respect to Syria. Why it is in news? Because Syria has brought out their new constitution, as as the Al-Julani, their elected president, we can say, the president of the Syria. He promised that this constitution would be very much democratic, but once the constitution came in, it was no way democratic but very much authoritarian. He gave much The constitution gave much powers to the president, that they can elect the judiciary. There is no independence of judiciary, there is no independence of the parliament. to by majority 1/3 of the members of the parliament are elected by president itself. So definitely there is this, and also it is no way democratic, democratic constitution. In fact, it recognizes Islam as the religion of the state. So definitely it is not secular either, according to the article. So with this we need to know, a direct question may not come with respect to the constitution of the Syria, but definitely a map based question can be asked in the exam. So here we need to know what are the states, what are the countries which border Syria. A question about it can be asked in the exam, so that we will understand through this question. Please do remember that. Here the question says, which of the following countries share a land border with the Syrian Arab Republic, Syria? First statement, Iraq, 100%. To the east, it is Iraq. To the south, it is Jordan, 100% correct. To the west, it is Lebanon, 100% correct. To the north, it is Turkey, 100% correct. And to the southwest, it is Israel, 100% correct. So all the countries given here share border with Syria. With this, I hope you had understood the question as well as the context of the question which we're discussing here. Now with this, let's move to the another slide and see what question we had brought there. Here the question is with respect to Swadesh Darshan scheme. Let's see what it is about. Here the question says, regarding the Swadesh Darshan scheme, consider the following statements. First statement, it is a scheme launched by the Ministry of Culture to promote cultural heritage in India. No, not by Ministry of Culture, but Ministry of Tourism, to promote tourism in India. So first statement is incorrect. Second statement, the scheme focuses on integrated development of the theme-based tourist circuits in a prioritized, planned and sustainable manner. 100% correct. Nothing wrong in the statement. Third statement, under this scheme, the Ministry of Tourism provides 100% central funding to the state governments, union territories, territory administrations and central agencies. 100% correct. Nothing wrong with the statement. Fourth statement, the scheme exclusively targets the development of religious tourist destination. No, it does not exclusively target the development of religious tourist destinations. So with respect to this scheme, the correct option would be option 2 and option 3 only, and from the code given below, the correct code would be option D. This scheme was implemented in 2014-2000. This scheme was implemented since 2014-2015 by the Ministry of Tourism, and now as this scheme SDS 2.0 has came out, and under this SDS, under this Swadeshi Darshan scheme 2.0, center had sectioned 102 tourist spots within country. They had the center will and 100 under SDS 2.0, which had come out, SDS 2.0. Uh, 2.0, please remember that center has sectioned 102 tourist spots across the country where the center will provide funds to the states. So with this, I hope you had understood the scheme. And now with this, let's move to the another slide and see what question we had brought there. Here the question is about the windfall revenue. Let's see what it is about. Why it is in news? Because the government has received windfall revenue from central public sector enterprises, and the amount which they had received is approximately 66,000 crore, 66,000 crore rupees. They had collected it as dividends. So let us see what this windfall revenue is through this question. Here the question says, which of the following best describes windfall revenue in the context of the government finances? First statement, revenue generated from the sale of government bonds in international market. No, it is not something like that. Third statement, revenue collected through the disinvestment of public sector undertakings. No, it is not due to disinvestment of the public sector undertakings. Third statement is also incorrect. Fourth statement, revenue earned from the implementation of new tax reforms. No, it is not tax revenue at all. So fourth statement is also incorrect. Now we are left with option B, that is unexpected revenue gains occurring to the government due to unforeseen external factors. 100% correct. That would be the most correct definition of the windfall revenue which the government gets. So with this, we had completed our today's discussion. We are left with one more question with respect to current affairs. Let us see that on the next slide. Here the question says, is regarding the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. Let's see what is this conference, what is this what is this agency all about. Let's discuss about that. Here the question says, regarding the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, consider the following statements. First statement, UNCTAD, UNCTAD is a permanent international intergovernmental body established by the United Nations General Assembly. 100% correct. It is the permanent body. Its primary objective is to promote the trade, investment, and development opportunities for the developing countries and underdeveloped countries. 100% correct. UNCTAD third step, UNCTAD publishes the World Investment Report and the Technology and Innovation Report. 100% correct. World Investment Report and Technology and Innovation Report. It is published by UNCTAD. Fourth statement, UNCTAD is a specialized agency of the United Nations. Now it is a subordinate agency of the United Nations General Assembly. So fourth statement is incorrect. Once we establish the fourth statement is incorrect, we can eliminate these options and we are left with option A, that is 1, 2 and 3 only. So with this, I hope you had understood the question here. Now with this, we had completed our today's discussion with respect to the questions from the current affairs. Now let's move to the another part of our discussion where we will solve a question from the static portion. As you know, currently we are discussing Indian polity, and in Indian polity we are discussing the Parliament of India. And to understand the Parliament of India, we know that the Rajya Sabha is the major part in the Parliament of India. We need to know about it, and we need to know related concepts with respect to Rajya Sabha. We discussed about the chairman, we discussed about the vice chairman, deputy chairman. Now here we have the question with respect to chairman pro tem. So let's understand what this chairman pro tem is, who elects him, what does he work as, and what does the constitution say about him. Here the question says, which of the following statements are correct regarding the chairman pro tem of the Rajya Sabha? First statement, the chairman pro tem of the Rajya Sabha is appointed by the President of India. 100% correct. He is appointed by the President of India. Please remember the words. A statement like this can come in the exam, that he is appointed by the President of India when the office of the chairman and deputy chairman are vacant. When this statement says vacant, then the statement is correct, then it is 100% true. But once, for example, there will be a statement, same question would be, the chairman pro tem of the Rajya Sabha is appointed when the office of the chairman and the deputy chairman, when the chairman and the deputy chairman are absent, then it won't be him. Then there would be separate personalities involved with that. He won't come into the picture. So please remember at the words, what are these words play the major role in the exam. If you miss these words, you can miss the question. You have the knowledge, but you overlook these words and you mark questions incorrectly. That is often the case with the aspirants. They often fail because of these small mistakes, these silly mistakes which they make in the exam, and they regret those mistakes only. If there is any question of which you don't have the knowledge, you would never regret that. But if there is question, you have the knowledge but you did not read the question properly, you missed the keywords, you will regret that till your next exam. So please keep this in the mind. So first statement, it is correct. He is appointed by the President of India. Second statement says, when the office of the chairman and the deputy chairman are vacant, duties of office of the chairman are performed by the chairman pro tem, who is elected by the President of India. 100% correct. Second statement is also true. Third statement, the chairman pro tem holds office until a new chairman is elected. No, it is not new chairman is elected, until new deputy chairman is elected. Until new deputy chairman is elected. So third statement is incorrect. When third statement is incorrect, we can eliminate option B, eliminate option C, and eliminate option D. We are left with option A only, which is 1 and 2 only, which would be the correct answer to this question. Fourth statement, the concept of the chairman pro tem is explicitly mentioned in the Constitution of India. No, it is not explicitly mentioned in the Constitution of India. It is an convention, parliamentary convention, not it is something mentioned in the constitution. So please remember that too. A question like this can be asked in the exam, whether chairman pro tem, it is the constitutional post, is it exclusively mentioned in the constitution? You should know it is not exclusively mentioned in the constitution. So with this, I hope you had understood this concept also. Now let's move to the last part of our discussion, where we will solve a previous year question. As you know, currently we are discussing the world geography, world physical geography, we can say. So here this question was asked in 2004, and trust me, I won't be surprised if this question gets repeated in this year's exam, because of this word, that is Panama, because of this country, that is Panama, because the Panama has been in news, it is revolving. This question may get repeated in this exam. UPSC has this trend, or they can ask any other question related to Panama. Please do remember, read about Panama, know about it is bordering countries, what are the countries who are bordering it, know about the Panama Canal, a question about it can be asked, know about the history of the Panama Canal, who initiated the construction of the Panama Canal, know about that, when USA took it, when they gave back it to the Panama. So please do remember that. So here, let's solve the question here, and we will conclude our discussion. The question says, which one of the following countries does not share border with Panama? Definitely Venezuela. It does not share border with Panama. So with this, we complete our discussion. So I hope you would have liked the video. I hope you would share it with your friends. I hope you would subscribe the channel, and I definitely hope you would write in the comments what else should we bring for you guys. With this, I would like to thank you guys, and thank you for staying with me. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.